ஓகே. ஸோ வீடியோ ஆஃப் பண்ணிக்கோங்க ஓகேங்களா? வீடியோ ஆடியோ ஆஃப் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. ஸோ கனெக்ஷன் ப்ராப்ளம் வரும். அருண்குமார் ஓகே தேங்க்யூ. ஓகே. ஸோ இன்கேஸ் ஏதாவது டவுட்ஸ்னா மைக் ஆன் பண்ணி நீங்கள் வந்து கம்யூனிகேட் பண்ணுங்கள், இல்லைனா வந்து கமெண்ட்டில் சொல்லுங்கள். இன்கேஸ் நான் வாய்ஸ் சொல்கிறதுக்கு புரியல அப்படின்னாலும் நீங்கள் வந்து கமெண்ட் ஆர் மைக் ஆன் பண்ணி பேசுங்க ஓகேங்களா? ஓகே. ஸோ இந்த பைத்தானை பற்றி சொல்லிட்டு இருந்தேன், ஏன் பைத்தான் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு. ஸோ பைத்தான் இஸ் அகெயின் சிமிலர் டு C++, ஜாவா மாதிரி தான் ஒரு ஆப்ஜெக்ட் ஓரியன்டட் ப்ரோக்ராமிங் லாங்குவேஜ். ஓகே. அண்ட் இதை வந்து ஏன் ப்ரொப்போஸ் பண்ணுறாங்க அப்படின்னா, இதோட சின்டாக்ஸ் எல்லாமே பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ரியல் டைம் சின்டாக்ஸாக இருக்கும். ஓகே. ஸோ இட் ஓன்ட் பி லைக் C++, ஜாவா அந்த மாதிரி வந்து ரொம்ப டஃப்பான ஒரு சின்டாக்ஸாக இருக்காது. அண்ட் லேர்ன் பண்ணுறதுக்கு ரொம்ப சிம்பிள். ஸோ இஃப் யூ லேர்ன் அ பைத்தான் அப்படின்னா, ஒன்ஸ் பைத்தான் நீங்கள் லேர்ன் பண்ணிட்டீங்க அப்படின்னா, உங்களுக்கு வந்து நீங்கள் எந்த டொமைனில் சூஸ் பண்ணுறீங்களோ அந்த டொமைனுக்கான எல்லாமே வந்து நீங்களே வந்து செல்ஃப் லேர்ன் பண்ணுறதுக்கு எல்லாமே நீங்களே வந்து நீங்களே செல்ஃப் லேர்ன் பண்ணிக்கலாம். ஸோ ஒரு சின்டாக்டிக்கலாகவும் சரி எல்லாமே வந்து பைத்தான் வந்து ரொம்ப சிம்பிளாக இருக்கும். ஓ சாரி, ஸ்க்ரீன் தெரியலையா? Okay, so that's it. So Python is a simple language. It is easy to learn, and syntactically it is simpler than C++, Java. When compared with any other programming language, Python is so simple to learn. ஓகேங்களா? Yeah, fine. So இதுதான் பைத்தான். ஓகேங்களா? Python is a simpler. Python என்னன்னா it's a programming language. Okay, and it is easy to learn. The syntactically it is much simple than any other languages. Okay, so anyone can learn. That is the most important thing. So C mother language la vandu it is difficult to learn, but Python vandu anyone can learn. All we need is just your interest. Ungaloda interest irundha podum, still you can learn Python. ஓகேங்களா? And why Python? And as I said before, Python வந்து ஈஸியாக லேர்ன் பண்ண முடியும். அதனால தான் பீப்புள் சூஸ் பைத்தான் ஓவர் எனி அதர் லாங்குவேஜஸ். ஓகேங்களா? ஸோ எல்லா டொமைன்லையுமே வந்து பைத்தான் இப்போ டாமினேட் பண்ணிட்டு வர்றதுக்கான ரீசனே சிம்பிளிசிட்டி தான். ஸோ பைத்தான் வந்து இவ்வளோ சிம்பிளாக இருக்கிறனால தான் எல்லாருமே வந்து என்ன பண்ணுறாங்க, லாங்குவேஜ் வந்து போர்ட் பண்ணிட்டு வராங்க. ஓகேங்களா? இதுதான் ஒய் பைத்தானுக்கான ஆன்சருமே. ஸோ நீங்கள் வந்து எம்படட் சிஸ்டமில் எம்படட்ல பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, எம்படட் மீன்ஸ் மைக்ரோ ப்ராசர் அந்த டெக்னாலஜிலாம், அதாவது எலக்ட்ரானிக்கல் டொமைனில் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ட்ரெடிஷ்னலாக சி தான் யூஸ் பண்ணிட்டு இருப்பாங்க. இப்போ வந்து அங்கேயுமே பைத்தான் வந்து yes.
Can you take it in English, please?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, sure.
Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Okay. So now I'm talking about why Python. So why Python? The simple reason is the simplicity of Python. Okay. So Python is nowadays using it everywhere. The reason is it was constructed in most simple way, and that's why even Python also put it into embedded languages. So previously in embedded systems we are actually used C as an embedded language. Now Python was slowly migrating into that segment. Okay, that's why that's the advantage. That's why we say reason. That is the reason why we're using Python in other language. That is why we're using Python in most other segments. And let's move on to version history. So Python was initially written by Guido van Rossum. Okay, and the naming reason is he is actually a fond of musical band that is called Monty Python. That's why. So don't think Python naming came from the snake like anaconda kind of. It is not like that. So the name was actually derived from a musical band called Monty Python. Okay, and now we'll see the version history. So initially while Python was written, it was the version is called 1.0, and later they have returned the version is 2.0. 2.0 was launched on the year of 2000, and then in 2008 the current version, that is a 3 series was launched. And in this current world we are using both like a 2 series and 3 both 2 and 3 was there in current world. And why still Python 2 was using? The reason is both Python 2 and 3 has syntactical changes. So that's why still people who used Python 2 was not preferring Python 3, but at the same time, Python 2 support was stopped from since January 1st, 2020. So companies started to migrate into Python 3. Okay, so as of now, we have two major versions, Python 2 and Python 3. Okay, and in this course, we will see the difference between Python 2 and 3 simultaneously. So you have both the knowledge at the same time. Okay. So do you have any doubts till now? So I have just explained you about what is Python and why Python and its histories. So the main advantage of Python is if you learn Python, you can choose your path or your domain where you want to go. Like if you want to be in a web development, you can choose your way. If you want to create a desktop application, still you can choose. And if you want to develop your own mobile application, still you have an option. And if you want to be in machine learning, data science, Python helps. Okay, that is the main advantage of Python. So because Python uses everywhere as of now. Okay, any doubts? I will introduce about how to execute Python and what is the various way to execute Python. Okay, shall I proceed? Yeah. Okay. So now, so Python is an interpreted language. So actually, the language is categorized into two types. One is compiler language and second is interpreter language. Compiler means, so you need to write an instruction, so everything will be compiled and it will actually produce a bytecode. The bytecode alone will be communicated with that corresponding virtual machine. Like each and every language has its own compiler, it will be communicated with that. But interpreter language means it's a line by line execution. Means if you have 10 lines of code, each and every line will be executed one by one by one. Okay, that is different. If it is a compiler, everything will be executed at once, then only that bytecode will be communicated with machine. But interpreter is not like that, it is a line by line execution. So Python belongs to interpreter languages, and you can execute Python in both way. You can write it into a file, and as well you can write it into interpreter. Okay, so hope everyone at least have some programming. I think I believe everyone is from a programming background. I mean, at least you might see C or C++. So otherwise, I will if you don't, I will tell you. I will explain you that, or just try to understand what I'm doing. Okay. This is called Python interpreter. Means you can start executing your code like I said, line by line execution, or you can write it into a file in another way. So this is one of the way. So for beginner, we will start from here. So in syntactical, as I said, Python uses a syntax what actually we using in a real time. So say for example, if you want to print your name or anything, just say print. Pass your inputs like, so that this will be printed. If it is a C or any other languages, you need to write import statements. I'm not using C or Java here. So if it is, I will on my day in next class I will show you the how to execute the similar, how to print the exact good morning in other languages. So you have better understanding. So today I'm just giving you introduction about the languages. That's it. Okay. So in case of other language, you need to import some header files. You need to say a void main or defining a class, etc. And you need to maintain a syntax like curly brace, etc. And you need to say print statement, or if it is a C, you need to say IOStream, kind of. Then only it will actually print whatever you have given. But in Python, it's not like it is direct syntax. So if you want to print something, just say print good morning. That's it. It will print. Okay, that much simple Python was. Okay, so this is that's why we call Python is so simple when compared with any other languages. Okay. So we'll start with coding tools. So you can start coding yourself. So as I said, you can execute Python in two ways. One is using interpreter, one from writing into file and start to executing it. Okay, so let's say installation. So if you want to, if you are using a Mac or Linux platform, Python is pre-installed. It is actually come up with latest Python versions. Or if you want to use a latest version, so Python actually has 3.8 series is the latest version. So just go to python.org. This is the official site. You can download your version. So again, this is like a normal software installation. Just go to python.org and download section, download the Python installation. Okay, uh, hopefully major of you using a Windows, I think. So just download and start install as like a normal software. So I think we have to do some other steps in installation. So once you install, uh, I, someone it will be good if someone is sharing your screen. It will be helpful for others to know the procedure. So shall we do installation right now? So any of you having Windows machine? Any of you using Windows machine?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah,
Just give me a minute. I'm just logging in.
yeah, sure. It will be good if you share your screen. So I will guide you
Yes,
through
I will
that.
do that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure.
Click allow for others to hear you on the call.
Sir, I am already in, sir.
Yeah, fine, fine. Yes.
I am already in, sir.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Can you see my screen?
Turn off mine. Yeah, please. We don't. Yes. Hope everyone able to see screen. So is it visible for all? Yes. Just go to that python.org. No, now we won't able to we won't able to see your screen. Hello.
Yeah, I was sharing, but I don't know what happened. Let me just try once more. It's the first day, so
Yeah. Oh, no problem. Yes, that's all. Yeah, we can able to see.
Again, it went away, right?
Pardon?
Are you able to see my screen now? I'm in
Uh,
Python.org.
oh no, we don't. We actually seeing your Skype window. Yeah, your screen is visible, but
Sir, is my screen is available?
no, actually. So hello.
Ah, yes, sir.
So actually, he what? Shenik, please turn off your screen. Yeah, yeah, please.
Yeah,
Now
yes,
it is
sir.
visible. So just see how to install. I think the voice is repeating. So can you turn off the mic? Yeah. So just download the Python. I will guide you through that. So just on top of it. It will be good if it is the latest version. No, it's on top. Just go to on top and download. Yeah, in right side, yes, sir. That's it. So the latest version is 3.8.4, 8.3, and 3.8.4 is under beta. So now we have a stable version that is called 3.8.3. Just click and start installing it. Just run. Install. Yeah. That was for the first one. Install now. Yes. So also we have one more platform called Google Collaborator, which will help you a lot. It's actually online online Python compiler platform. So you can be able to execute anywhere, even from a mobile platform or anywhere. Once we done with once we set up with Python installation, we'll move on to that Google Collaborator. No, it is not visible. Your screen is not visible.
It says that I am sharing my screen. Let me just
Okay.
stop sharing. Share again, share.
So if you have any trouble, just follow the guide, and hopefully you will install on yourself. Is it fine? Have you installed?
Yes, the installation is complete.
Okay, and then we have to do that environmental variable setup. That's the major thing. So installation was so simple. It's like another software installation. Hope you've done before, but we have to do something called environmental variable setup. That's the major thing. So people are supposed to understand that. So it will be good if screen is visible. We won't able to see a screen. Or anyone have Windows machine? Anyone else except Sion? Guys, anyone? Okay, no problem. Okay, sure. So I think the Prabhakaran having a Windows machine, so we'll take his. I will ask him to
Yes,
take a note.
please.
Yeah.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Prabhakaran, please turn on. Prabhakaran, can you please share your screen? So go to that browser. Did you install a Python? Yeah, please. Yeah. Just go to Chrome or any browser. Just type python.org. I think you have downloaded. So download. No, download section. Yeah, in right side. In right side. See, there is a download for Windows is there, right? Python 3.8.3. Yeah, that's one. No, no, no. Yeah, correct. Okay. So in Windows, Python setup come up with one thing built-in IDE called IDLE. So we don't need any third-party IDE if you want. If you but it doesn't have any much feature. It is actually a basic IDLE. And if you want more feature, yeah, you're supposed to go with third-party. So we'll see what all the available third-party libraries or IDEs are there for Python. So in this course, I will use a Python 2 series, and I will ask you to use Python 3. So that's then only you can able to understand the similarities and the difference between both Python 2 at the same time, and hopefully you will understand what's the difference between Python 2 and 3 during our course content. So I will use Python 3 to sorry, I will use Python 2, and I will ask you to use Python 3. So you have learned both at the same time. Okay, fine. So now just say start menu. The Python will be visible over there. Start menu. Yes. So see, IDLE is there and IDLE. So this is the Python. Yeah, click that IDLE. So this will bring you to the Python shells for Windows. Okay. So we don't need to say anything, but you can start typing anything, like say print anything. Just say print, open bracket, open close. No, open close. Inside quotes, just say something. Say something. Yeah. Yeah. This is actually first instruction. Okay. And this is a default one. So if you want to just execute Python, this is enough. But if you want to use Python to communicate with any other, like if you want to build some application, if you want to build machine learning stuffs, so you need to configure a Python very first time in Windows machine. So we'll see the configuration step, and for that, just say start menu again. Right click in that any one of that Python icon. Right click, more, open file location. Open file location. It will be redirect you to the that shortcut menu, I think. So here is the shortcut menu. Okay, and this is not actually Python was installed. So this is not a location where Python was actually installed. So again, you're supposed to say right click, go to file location. So this is a shortcut. Just note, please note, this is a shortcut. It's not actually Python installation. Just right click once again. Yeah. So this is a shortcut. Say open file location once again. Open file location. Yes. So this is where Python was installed actually. Okay. Now we have to do setup. Just copy that address bar. What is the exact path available in address bar? Yeah. Copy it. Control C. Now, so before setuping up, I will show you start command prompt. No, just copy is enough. You don't need to paste. Or say control R, control R or window R, sorry, window key plus R, or say CMD, type CMD. Yeah, CMD. No, I won't ask you to paste. Say CMD. Command prompt. CMD D for dog. Yeah. Okay. Type Python. Let's see whether it is configured by default. Python. Spelling mistake is there. I think for Windows 10 it will be pre-configured. Enter. No, so it is not. It is not actually dive into Python. So we have to do setup. Now, you know how to copy for Python path, right? Now, start menu again. Start menu again. Search edit. Environmental variable. env. Yeah. Environmental variable. Yeah. Select the first one. Yes. System environmental variable, and under there is something called environmental variable. Is there, right? Under the advanced section. No, you are there. Yes. Select that. And in system variables, you have two options. One is a user variable, system variable. Under system variable, there is something called path. Under system variable, there is something called path. No, I'm talking about system variable section. You have a two section: user variable, system variable. In system variable, there is something called path. Double click path. Double click path. Or say edit. Once you select path section, say edit. Yeah. Okay. So if you're using less than Windows 10, I mean Windows 7 or Windows XP kind of, so this will be looks like one line. So you need to separate it by semicolon. But if it is a Windows 10, it is separated by line. Okay, just click on new line. New line. No, yeah. Paste what you actually copied. Control V. Yes. Okay. Just say okay. And okay again. So yes. So close this out as well. So close the command prompt, open once again. Close and reopen. Just close and see CMD and reopen once again. Now type Python. So this will actually open your Python terminal. So is it visible, right? Now the setup was done. So Shivram, how you understand? Shivram, how you understand?
What was the path which you? What was the path which you selected?
It is actually Python installation path. So Prabhakaran, can you move on to that screen? Yes. This is where Python was installed. So if you want, I will show you once again. Go to start menu. Right click on Python icon. Say open file location. Yes. And initially it will be redirect you to, it will take you to a shortcut. So this is not actually Python location. This is a shortcut. So in type section, you will notice, right? It is actually shortcut. So again, you have to say right click, open file location. This is where, location. Yeah.
Okay, this is perfect. Yes.
Yeah. This is where actually Python was installed. Okay.
Then I go to properties and then I go into where do I find the file?
It is a open file location. Just say right click and there is an option called open file location. This will actually take you to.
Yeah, I'm there in the open file location. Yes. And then how do you get the shortcut for, or the, what do you say, the path?
So you can notice in address bar. So in address bar is there, right? Just click on address bar.
That was easier. Perfect.
Yes. Okay. So otherwise you have to click on the C : program file, etc. It is hard to find out. So this is a simple way to find out where actually it was installed. So please make a note. You should not copy shortcut location. You have to copy exact location. Okay. So shortcut location won't help you. So any doubts in this? Hope this is clear, right? How about Shivram?
Anyway, until I figure this out, I will go through the program files and open the Python.
Yeah, okay.
But no,
just
understood. Thank you.
No problem. Just share your screen. We will guide you through. No problem. So share your screen. So Prabhakaran, thank you. So I think he's supposed to share screen. So we'll be back in case.
That is where I'm having an issue with. Otherwise, I would have continued. But anyway, I understood. In case if there is anything, I will reach out to you. Thank you.
Okay. So again, I will do one more thing. So Prabhakaran, we have not done our setup. So just go to that file location once again. See, first time this will take you to the shortcut. Open file location will take you to the shortcut where actually Python was installed. Okay, so this is the shortcut location. This is not actually a installation location. So again, say Python, so open file location once again. So this is where Python was installed, and we have to copy paste one more path, that is go to lib, just go to lib, or sorry, scripts folder. Okay, so here there is an application called pip. Okay, this is the application which help us to install dependencies of Python. Okay, so you know what is dependencies. So I have told you before. So you know App Store, right? So everyone using a mobile phone, there you will find something called Play Store. If it is Apple, it's called App Store. Okay, that application will help you will help us to install the various application what we actually need. So this those application will fulfill our application needs. Similarly, for Python, if you want to install any dependencies, we need a package manager. Okay, so that this is actually similar to Google Play Store and App Store. So for Python, we call it as a pip. It's called Python package index. Okay, understand what is pip? So pip is nothing but a package manager for Python. Okay, guys, understand? So pip is a package manager for Python. This will actually help us to install a Python dependencies. Okay, now copy the file path, which is located at underscore. Okay, so this will be like a Python/script. Okay, in Windows, copy it. This do the same step what we have proceeded. Do the same step. Environmental variable. Yeah, correct. Once again, so under system variables, there is something called path. Yeah. Edit. Paste it. If you are using any other version, you have to separate it by semicolon. Okay. Say okay. Close it once again. Close. Okay. Yeah. Now just open your command prompt. Yeah, it is open. It is already there. It is there already. No, it is there. Just checking. Control C. Supposed to exit. Control C. No. Oh, yeah. You don't have to say Control X or Control C. You're supposed to come out from that Python terminal. Control C or Control X. Enter. Say enter. Control X. Enter. Or Control C, enter, or say exit, open close brackets, open close parentheses. Yeah, cool. Say pip pip. So this is the shortcut will differ for each and every platform. That's the point. See, it says pip was not recognized as an internal external command. The reason is, once you copy paste your this is actually not just for Python. Okay, so why we doing environmental setup? I will explain you why we need environmental setup. So once you installing some application, so just assume this is a third-party application. Windows doesn't know. Windows never knows this application was installed. So I mean the path where actually it was installed. So you're supposed to teach Windows this is an application. We supposed to use it through command prompt. Okay, so you need to tell Windows all the time, I have installed some application in this specific location. That's why we are actually set up an environment variable. So this is not just limited with Python. This is not just for Python. So this setup will help you to any kind of application setup. Even this will help you in Java setup, or in if you are developing some server, like if you are developing Apache, or if you are using some SQL. So wherever actually we need some environmental setup, this will help you out. Okay, now once you copy paste your installation path into environment variable, you're supposed to close and reopen a command prompt once again. So please close and reopen it. Then the same command will work. We'll start effect. Yeah, cmd, just say pip. Now the command will work. Right? Now, if you want to install any Python dependencies, say pip freeze or pip freeze, PIP space freeze, PIP space freeze. So this will list out freeze, not 3, it is freeze. Just check my comment section. Freeze. It will be difficult if you copy paste in a say freeze. Okay. So this will actually list out what are all the install packages available in your machine. Right now we don't have anything. If you want to say something, say pip install. So this will be like tell you command pip install. I'm saying Django. So say for just one of the available packages for Python. Yeah. So this is how to install a dependency for Python. So this is the basic setup of Python. Okay, so we have to go a long way, and don't confuse right now. So I'm just telling you how to do the basic setup. That's it. Okay. So because you are already done up with your normal software installation, this is actually similar to that. So this tip will help you whenever we are going to use Python. Like if you are into ML or machine learning, data science, if you are into web application, if you are into data science, wherever you are actually planning to explore, so there this setup with you. Now say once again pip freeze again. So these are the packages was installed right now, right? Understand? So initially you don't have anything, right? When you say pip freeze, nothing was there. So once you, this is the way to install application. So just I always say to my students, so whenever you're doing something, just relate it with real world. So just when you purchasing some mobile phone, when you're out of the box, it doesn't have anything except a basic application like calculator, phone, message, etc. Because those are the basic stuffs. As like a Python, in Python also we have a basic stuff like a calculator or uh, file explorer, like if you want to parse some files. So the basic stuff will be there in Python. If you want any other advanced application, you're supposed to install in this way. Understand? So this is the way to install the dependent application as like mobile phone. So if you want like a games, you have to go to Play Store, just download and start using the game. If you want a Microsoft Excel, just start downloading and using it. Similarly in Python, if you want third-party dependencies, just use pip and start installing. So any doubts in installation? So the purpose of freeze will show you the install Python dependencies. Understand? So just before he said pip freeze, just highlight that one. So you don't, it doesn't list out anything in that. So after installation, it actually listed out what all the package was installed. So this is the purpose of freeze command. So this will actually, freeze will list out what are all the packages was installed in your Python environment. Okay. So thank you, Prabhakar. So you can stop your screen. I'll start to share my screen. Yeah, thank you. So you will find it on top, on bottom. So right side, yeah, that middle icon. No, the middle icon. So yeah, you will find some, yes, no, the. So there is a two screen option is there, right? So you have a three. Oh yeah, that one, correct. Just click it. Click that icon. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Hopefully my screen is visible. So is it visible, right? So let's move on to another platform which help you to execute Python code. Okay, that is called Google Collaborator. Okay, yeah. So now we have done with our setup. Okay, now, so if you are using a Chromebook, or if you have any trouble with installation, like people who are using Office machine, they don't have an access to install Python, right? So for those people, we have some cloud platform which help us to execute Python code. So here, that is called a Google Collaborator. Just search Google Collaborator. Okay, Google Colab. So this is the cloud platform which help us to execute Python code. Okay, so this is purely for Python. So Google Collaborator will help us to execute Python commands in Python command through online. Okay, so we don't need to do any setup. Okay, Python will Google will take up everything. So including they will allocate a machine for you, and they have actually everything was pre-installed. You don't need to install anything. Just start coding. See, print follow. So this is a much simple than installing Python in your local. So if you are a beginner, this platform is much more helpful for you. So have you seen my screen? So I understand what is Google Collaborator. Are you able to see?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. So is it helpful, Google Collaborator platform? So if you feel any trouble with installation, or if you are using a Chromebook kind of, and this is the platform, will much more helpful for you, and you can start writing your code here. Okay. So any doubts in Google Collaborator? So you can save your code in cloud. You can reopen anywhere else. You can you can be in anywhere, any part of the world. So just your Google account is enough for that, and everything was saved in cloud. Start executing it. So this is the way. So just say file menu, new notebook. So this will take you to the Python environment. Okay. So under the top section, there is a two icon. That text section is comment. Like if you're doing something, if you want to make a note of it, like say for example, today we have seen just simple command, print command. Okay, print statement or print. Okay, note. And once done, let's dive into code. Okay, once you written your code, there is icon, the play icon is there, right? If you click that icon, the code will start to execute. Okay, simultaneously you can make a note of it, and you can execute a program as well in the same time. Okay, so this platform much helpful for a beginner to learn and implement Python codes. Okay, the first time it will take a time because it's supposed to allocate a machine for you. So in next time it won't take much time. Okay, so this is all about installation about Python. Okay, and for course content, we actually have a, so just go to the Credo system site. I will share you the link here. We have complete course section. Okay, so we totally have 15 chapters. So we will start from the scratch. Like today we have seen an installation. From tomorrow we'll see. So I will show you. Today we'll see one more topic called object declaration. What is object and all. And from the scratch we'll see how to. From scratch we'll see what is object and what is function, what is class, what is module, what is exception, error handling, etc., etc. All the topics what a basic programmer needs from the scratch. Once we done up with the basics, fundamentals, will move on to advanced topics like system interface, GUI programming, database connectivity, text processing, internet scripting. So these are the course syllabus. You can say check out in our website link. Okay. So before proceeding with advanced topics, all I want is you're supposed to be strong in fundamentals. Okay. So we will go through slowly. So all we need is we need your practice. Okay, please spend some time to do practice. Okay, then only you can able to understand all the topics. Okay, so we won't ignore any fundamentals. We will slowly come across the fundamentals. Once we done up with fundamental, then only we will dive into advanced topics like this. Okay, so in this section we will see file processing. It means, so like Excel files, PDF, images, extra there, right? So in this section, so today I will give you the demo about each advanced topics. Okay, so in this section we will see file processing. Now I'll show you. So it will be good if I will show you some demo. Let's start with image processing. There is a module called Python imaging library. So don't confuse as of now, because I'm just showing the demo of each and every topic. So just to excite you, so these are the things was available in this content. So later you are going to learn these things in upcoming classes. So I'm just giving you the demo, that's it. Okay, so I'm going to say so I'm going to take this image. Okay, what I'm going to do is image dot open. So initially it will be difficult to understand. Just forget all that. Just forget what I'm doing. Just focus on what end result. Okay. So here what I'm going to do is, so at the end of this course, you're supposed to think each and every application from developer perspective. Okay, there's the main motto of these advanced topics. So whenever you see each and every topics, I will ask my students to see. So previously have seen something like from end user perspective. Hereafter you're supposed to think from a developer perspective. So now in this segment, what I'm doing is that imaging software like resizing and all. So here I'm going to resize this image into my own with an eye. So actually this image size was 1080 pixel and 720 pixel. I supposed to resize with 200, 300 to 200. Width is 200 and height is width is 300 and height is 200. So now I'm going to resize it. So my code is this is my first code, and this is my second code, and my third code is ng dot resize 300 width and 200. Okay. Resize image. Okay. Now I'm going to save it. Nature 2020. See, there is a no file name called nature 2020. Now I'm going to create one file. Done. Okay. Is it created? Right? Have you seen that? So now I'll show you the properties. The image was actually resized with my custom. Okay, so this is what I'm going to say. So in this segment we are going to parse a file and we are going to play files. Okay, and then system interface. So any doubts in this segment? So I'm just giving you the demo what we are actually going to see in this segment. Have you understand what I'm going to say, Shivram?
Yes.
Yeah. So any doubts? So here actually the image was resized. So this is what you are. So that is what I'm saying. So you have used imaging software as an end user, okay? But you never know what is actually happening behind the screen. So this is what actually happened behind the screen. So when you're clicking the resize icon, you're supposed to say width and height. So that instruction will be goes to that some certain function. The function going to execute some certain code. This is the code. Okay, this code will actually resize the image. So similarly, we are going to see several file handling technique in this segment. And in system interface, we supposed to see OS interaction between human. So like say for example, if you're clicking some folder icon and if you're clicking some desktop or each and every folders, here the file was listed, right? So this is what we're going to, the similar thing we're going to see in this segment. os.listdir. So here in desktop, these files are listed, right? Now I'm going to see how, if you are from end user, you never know what is actually happening behind the screen. When you're clicking that icon, the file was that the files and folder was listed. So I'm saying I'm going to pass folder location. See the file, all the files and folder was listed. This is the code which actually fetch all the files and folder which was available in that specific location. Okay, so now you have two options. One is a normal window and something with all the information, right? So this how it actually implemented. See, scan the start scan the okay. So here we'll find all the images, and each file will carry all the relevant information like modified time, modified and created time, size, etc. So everything will be there. Okay, so this is in this segment we will see everything through a backend perspective. Like I said, as a end user, you'll see if you're clicking some icon, it's supposed to list something, and if it is end user, sorry, if it is a developer, you're supposed to know what is actually happening behind the screen. So this is the this is actually from a backend. So when I'm clicking the icon, what is actually happening behind the screen? This is what actually happening behind the screen, and this is what we are going to see in this segment. And then here we going to build a UI, and then so in this segment we are actually going to build some UI, and we will bind the some things which we prepared or which we code above section. Will integrate those code into this section. Okay, this is what we actually going to see in this section, GUI programming. I will show you some demo in this.
Hello, now?
Yeah.
I am Arun.
See, so this is one of the application which we one of our student did. Okay, so in this segment we'll actually going to build some UI and we will bind the code which we have prepared till the previous section. Okay, so these are and then database integration. So there is a noise is there. Can you please turn off your mic? So in internet scripting, we are supposed to see how to send a mail, how to do a file transfer, how to create a website using Python, etc. in this segment. Okay, so this is all about our course content. So any doubts in this section? Any doubts in this? Guys, any doubts in this? Okay.
Yeah, clear.
Clear, right? So this is all about introduction. So today is about installation and introduction about Python, and so what we actually going through all this session, right? And from next class we're supposed to see, we'll start from a beginning, like so so everything has some beginning. So say for example, if you want to write document, you're supposed to say starts with start writing some scripting like that. Like, so if you're doing some mathematical problem, what you have to do, you have to say a is equal to 1, b is equal to something kind of, and you actually start proceeding with it. Same. So if you want to write a program, we have to define an object. That's why we call it an object oriented programming. Say for example, if you want to perform some calculation in calculator, what we are actually doing, we have to say some numbers. We will start with some number, right? So in behind the code, what will happen, this number will assign into some variable, that is called object declaration. So 10 was assigned into some object, and then we'll see plus 2, when you say equal, this will actually producing some output, right? So in behind, you're supposed to write a code for that. So that is called object declaration. So I will show you that in Python interpreter. I'm going to say a is equal to 10. Okay, and if you want to do some plus icon, so if you use a say plus, you're supposed to say a plus 20, you will get some result. Okay, so this is the main part of any programming language. So this is called object declaration or variable declaration. Understand? Okay, we'll see what is object declaration or variable declaration in detail from next class, because it has there is a difference between other language with Python. So in other language is supposed to declare something like int a is equal to 10 semicolon, means a variable will supposed to start with a data type and ends with line terminator. But in Python we don't have both, so you should not say data type and you don't need to say line terminator. Okay, just say a variable name, assignment operator, and a value. That is more than enough in Python. Okay, we'll see in detail from next class. Okay, so this is the main part of any programming language, that is called object declaration. Okay, so we'll start from next class. So for today, we have seen an installation and start saying print something like a print your name and all, and I will give you some exercise. See, input is one of the function like a print statement. So print. So today we have seen something called print. As well, we have one more function called input. So input will help you to fetch user input. Say for example, you can say enter your name. Okay, so this will actually wait for something. You have to say Shivram, your name was stored into variable called a, so say print. Okay, now so I'm not actually explaining you all in details. I'm just saying practice for yourself. Okay, you see dar a, so dar will store the possibilities. So just if you want to do capitalize, say A dot capitalize, everything will become capital. Sorry, it will be started with capital. If you want to make it as uppercase, say A dot upper, and if you want to convert it to lowercase, just say lower. Okay, so this is called string manipulation. So we will see all these things in next class. I'm just giving you a demo of it. Okay, so today just start with installation and see print and all. From Monday we'll see the start from object declaration in details. Any doubts? Clear? Hello?
Yeah.
So yeah, just give me the feedback. So if you feel it, because this is a first class, right, and it is hard to combine with everyone, and that's why we actually start with delay in time. And you have some feedback in that, just post in a comment section. So in next time I will try to resolve from mine. Okay, so next class will be on Monday, so it's actually weekly session, right? So in every day from 10 to 11. So today is just an introduction and installation, that's it. So from Monday onwards we're going to see starts with object declaration and all. So we are going to actually see the real programming from Monday. Okay, so just give you a feedback, so it will be help for me to resolve my issues. Okay, so it will be good if you give everyone give you a feedback, so I will try to resolve mine. Okay, I mean something. Okay, so today is just an installation. Don't think if you feel I'm going fast, just give you a feedback. If you feel if the session was went so fast, I'll try to reduce my speed. And if you think I'm not started anything yet, I'm saying I never started anything yet. It's just an installation. We're going to see everything start from Monday. Okay, yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. We'll see Monday. Okay,
Thank you.
bye. So the session was recorded, so you can if you feel if you miss something, just download. The recording will be available for next 30 days. So download a copy into a machine and just revise it in case if you want if you miss something. Okay, thanks a lot. Bye guys.